This video is going to provide answers to the most frequently asked questions that were submitted to me by sales professionals, managers, and business owners who attended my LinkedIn for Sales seminar that was given recently at the University of Chicago and the Mercer Center at Princeton. The first question was a great one. It said, please tell me more about that LinkedIn app, the one that guarantees I will never have to sit down and manually type the contact information off of all of my business cards to get them into my computer again. Well, it's called Card Munch, and you can download it for free. It'll go directly onto your smartphone, your iPad mini, your iPod, you name it. It was designed specifically for salespeople who always seem to have a stack of business cards right on their desk. Those ones that we get at trade shows and networking events and client events. The developers of Card Munch realize that most of us have the best of intentions of one day finding some time, sitting at our computers, and putting that information into a database. The good news is that the developers of Card Munch have figured out that although we salespeople have the best of intentions, we haven't really found the ideal day that is perfect for sitting down and loading business card after business card into our system. So they made their system incredibly easy. You see, with Card Munch, you just simply point or click your smartphone or iPad right at a business card. Once you do that, they will create a new contact that can not only be loaded into your iPhone or iPad contact system, but you can transfer it into your email system or any CRM that you have. Now, as soon as you take a photo of a business card, Card Munch automatically accesses LinkedIn. It pulls in your prospect's profile, their photo, plus all that great LinkedIn information that's stored there to include, current and past jobs, web pages, Twitter accounts, educational history. I mean, it's a phenomenal piece of data. All you have to do is hold the card, point, and shoot. But wait, now there's a big difference between Card Munch and all the other smartphone scanning applications out there. You see, with Card Munch, no less than 3 live, breathing human beings actually check to ensure that the information that was taken by your phone or iPad is loaded into the right fields in your contact, email, or CRM system. Now, this is important if you've used other cell phone scanners before, because the more creative or the more non-traditional that business card looks, the more likely that your contact's street address is going to end up where their title is, or their fax number is going to be where their cell phone number should have been. By introducing these 3 proofreaders, Card Munch almost guarantees that you're never going to have to go back and waste a minute to reshoot or edit your card. Now, right now, Card Munch only works with iPhones, iPads, iPad minis, and iPods. But with the explosive growth of Android smartphones, Card Munch is going to be available very soon for them. In fact, if you'd like to be notified when Card Munch is ready for your non-Apple smartphone or tablet, just send an email to this address right here. Make sure you put the make and model of your phone in your email address, and as soon as it's available, you'll be notified. Our second question is, can you provide more information on LinkedIn's new strategic partner, the one that tracks all the job openings and transfers that are going in and out of my market? Well, that's another great question. That strategic partner is called Simply Hired, and they've got access to over 8 million job openings across all categories and industries. They gather information, or as the IT people will say, they scrape and compile job openings on thousands of sites to include Craigslist, the Wall Street Journal, company websites, social networks, Bloomberg, Businessweek, LinkedIn, you name it. Simply Hired will also allow you to search for those exact titles within your market that are the most likely to be transferred, that have a high probability of relocation. Let me show you how it works. Let's simply just go over to Simply Hired, and in this case, let's look up Vice President of Sales in Washington, D.C. So as you see here, I type in the title on the left and the city on the right. In fact, you only need the zip code. You don't need city or state or anything else. And then you just hit click. As you can see here, it's returned 1,387 job openings. I bet you didn't realize Washington, D.C., which is such a hotbed for sales. Well, it's really not. This number is artificially inflated. And this is a great time to talk about how search engines work. Whether you're on Simply Hired or Google or Bing, it doesn't really matter. When you type a group of words into the search box, it looks for all of those words. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Here at Simply Hired and on Google as well, it would return not only the vice presidents of sales, it'll also return all the vice presidents' jobs and all the sales jobs. To finely tune your search, to make sure it only brings back the exact job title that you're looking for, I recommend, whether it's in Simply Hired or Google, that you put quotation marks around it. By doing that, you're telling the search engine, only go out and get me those jobs that have these exact 4 words in this exact same order. And as you can see right here, we drop down to 141 very realistic prospects. Now I'd like you to look over here to the right where the finger's pointing to. I want you to click on the button that says On underneath the phrase Connect with LinkedIn. When you do that, Simply Hired and LinkedIn begin to talk to each other. This is when the magic of their strategic partnership is going to make you into a superstar prospector. And let me show you how the magic works. Let's say I'm looking for a franchise development specialist. This is a pretty unique position, so it might involve relocation in and hopefully out for the person whose opening we're targeting. So I go to Simply Hired and I type in franchise sales. I type in my location and I hit search jobs. And as you can see, it returns 26 positions within my metropolitan area. The very first organic one has a LinkedIn logo next to it. And underneath are 3 primary contacts that I have within LinkedIn that work for this very company that I want to target that can help me open the door. And if I don't like these 3 people or they don't work out, see right here it says view all 602 connections. I've got 602 LinkedIn connections into this company, and when I click on it, LinkedIn will churn for a little while and then return back to me an entire roster of all the employees that I have that can help me. Okay? Let's go down here real quick and look at the very next job. It's one level up. It's a franchise sales director. Same thing. I click on the LinkedIn logo. It returns 3 different people. It means that these primary contacts are closer to this job than the one above it. Once again, if I don't like all those 3 people or want to see if I know who else, I click on it. It churns for a little bit, and now I have a complete roster of 602 employees within LinkedIn, full access to their profiles that can help me find out who in this company I can tap into for relocation opportunities. An extraordinary sales prospecting tool. I'm so glad someone asked this next question because a lot of new things have happened regarding LinkedIn and video. The question is, how do I upload videos into my LinkedIn profile? Let me show you just how easy it is to upload a video to your LinkedIn profile. All you have to do is go to the top of your LinkedIn page and click on Profile. The first and only option you get is called Edit Profile. You know you're in the edit mode when all these blue pencils start to show up throughout your profile. Once you're there, I want you to scroll down throughout your profile, and let's stop here at my summary section. You see this little box with a plus next to it? That is your indication that this is a place that LinkedIn will allow you to embed a video. And in fact, it works fantastic if it happens to be in YouTube, Vimeo, or Flickr. You can bring it over with just a couple of clicks of your mouse, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. I want to show you also, when you get down to your experience level, your past jobs, you're allowed to drop in videos for each of your jobs. So if you worked on an extraordinary project or helped make a commercial, or you gave some great training and you've got video of it, drop it in here. It will really enhance the presence of your profile to the reader. Now let's go back up here and let me just show you how easy this is. We're going to go to my summary section. We're going to click on this little blue box with a plus sign. You're given 2 options, upload a file or add a link. Now remember, I said this really works well if your video already exists in YouTube or Flickr or Vimeo. So I'm going to click on add link. And when I do that, I'm given the opportunity to drop the URL in provided to me. And in my case, let's use YouTube. So we'll go right over here to YouTube. Here's one of my videos. And as you can see right down here, we're given the option to share. When you click on that, you have 2 options. One is a URL, one is some HTML code if you want to embed onto your website. But in this particular case, we just want the URL. We just copy that, go right back to my LinkedIn profile, drop it in here, hit paste, and bingo. I've got a beautiful new video loaded in my summary section. In fact, LinkedIn has taken my descriptive paragraph from YouTube and transferred it, so I don't even have to double type. In this particular case, you make the decision. Do you want to edit it a little bit so it's specific for some of the audiences that you're looking at, or leave it as it is? And if you do, you just click on save, and you now have a live video. I want to point out you're not just limited to uploading videos. LinkedIn will easily permit you to upload brochures, PowerPoint presentations, white papers, flyers, ebooks, city guides, you name it. This can all be accomplished very easily by heading over to a company LinkedIn recently acquired called SlideShare. And all you have to do is open up a free account. They will provide you with simple step-by-step instructions how to upload PowerPoints, PDFs, videos, etc. into your SlideShare account. And in fact, if you find them a little confusing, do what I always do. Head over to YouTube, because there's always an army of SlideShare geniuses and LinkedIn gurus that make these wonderful tutorials, and all you have to do is ask. The next question is both a question and I think a complaint. Too often LinkedIn returns great prospects, but only allows me to see their first name and the first initial of their last. Can you help me find out what this prospect's full name is? Well, that's easy. This is because that prospect is either a third level contact with you, is in a group with you, or the only connection you have is that you both happen to just be in LinkedIn, and you're not going to see their name unless you're a first or second level connection. And until recently, the most effective way to unlock a prospect's full name was to copy that first name and that first initial of their last name, their job title and company title, and take it over to Google. Drop it into Google's search box, and about 80 to 85% of the time, Google will be successful in reaching out to LinkedIn and returning back to you the full profile. Remember, LinkedIn's got the hots for Google and Google's got the hots for LinkedIn, so they tell each other things they won't tell us. So when you ask Google nicely, they'll always get you the information you need. But now, wait a minute, there's a far more effective, fun, and reliable way to find this information out. Now, before I walk you through the step-by-step procedure to do this, I'd like to give you some advice. And this advice is good whether you're using Windows or Apple. I'd like to recommend, if you haven't done so already, to download a second free browser. This will be in addition to Internet Explorer if you're on Windows or Safari if you're on Mac. The two that I would recommend is either Google Chrome or Firefox. I personally use Google Chrome. Now, the reason I want you to do this is because this next tactic is going to require you to have two browsers open at the same time. And for whatever reason, when there's two browsers and it's two Windows Explorers or two Safaris, it just gets clunky and slows down. But when one of those is Google Chrome, it speeds up. Now let me show you what I mean. I hope you've got your pens and pencils ready, because I'm about to share with you a fantastic new tip that's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time and make your prospecting so much easier. You see, there's nothing more frustrating when you're prospecting for new accounts and using LinkedIn, and to find the perfect candidate only to see that LinkedIn will share their first name and the first initial of their last name. I'm going to show you how you can immediately find out the last name of that individual. Now, LinkedIn does this for a very specific reason. They want you to pay to upgrade. So they're not going to tell you your candidate's last name. But LinkedIn's got the hots for Google, and whenever Google asks, LinkedIn will tell them. So what we're going to do is show you how to ask Google what your candidate's last name is, and you're going to get it in less than a couple of seconds. First, I'd like you to have up on your screen when you're doing this, LinkedIn on the left and Google on the right. Now, when you get to Google, I want you to go to the top of the bar and just click on Google Images. Get that on your screen. Let's pick the second person here. Here's Frank V over on LinkedIn. Somebody I want to talk to, the chief operating officer of his company, a decision maker. All I have to do to find out Frank V's last name and a ton of great new information on him is to take my mouse and left click on his photo. Once I do that, I just drag it over to the box under Google Images and release it. Now what Google has just done is gone out to the internet and said, show me all the places that this picture of Frank is and bring it back. So right now I've got Frank's profile, Frank Vella's profile on Twitter. There's a collection of executives from New York City within LinkedIn that he appears in. I've got a profile from what appears to be a Twitter automatic posting system. And Frank's picture is included in 2 articles about cloud computing. So before I ever reach out to Mr. Vella, I can read about him, I can follow him on Twitter, I can have all the information in his LinkedIn profile. Now let me show you how else this works. Let's just go over here and pick one more. Let's go down to Monica D. Monica works for ESPN. She's in HR. All I have to do, because I have the Google Images window already opened up, take my mouse, left click, grab Monica's photo, drop it in the box, and boom, it goes out and pulls in a lot of information. Now Monica's a bit of a celebrity. So the first thing that's popping up is a story from last year when she divorced her husband, who was Russell Peters, who was a bit of a celebrity. I also have a complete bio from Wikipedia on him. But I also can go down and I can get access to her Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace accounts. I have her LinkedIn profile. She's also a very active leader in a Hispanic business networking organization. I can go down and access all this information. Finding this out took less than a couple of seconds. It doesn't cost you anything. It saves you a tremendous amount of time, and it makes you an extraordinary prospector who targets clients with laser-like accuracy. Well, that's it. We've answered the most frequently asked questions. But I want to make sure if you've got a question and we haven't answered, that you understand you can call me or email me or write me 24/7. You can reach me right here on LinkedIn. You can email me. And if you like Twitter, send me a tweet and I'll get right back to you. I hope these tips, tactics, and strategies help you outsell, outmarket, outpromote, and outnetwork your competition. Have a great year.